Hey. We're live. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live English class about English, which is live. My name is Luke, and I will be your teacher for this live class. If you haven't already done so, make sure right at the beginning you hit the like button, you subscribe, if you haven't already done that, and check out my courses. Those are in the links in the description. But I want to say one thing. Well, there's a huge announcement. Well, is it a huge? It's not a huge announcement. My courses are on sale, big time. One of them is in a ridiculous sale, and it's a limited time, a limited number. So now's the time to check it out. Hey, Karina's here, and Vissel is here, and Flay is here, and RB is here. Hip hip, hooray! Let me update the thing really quickly, and then we can start. Give me a second, guys. Get your questions ready. We'll be doing a Q&A, as we usually do. Hey, Luba's here. All right, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. That helps out right at the beginning. Rocky is here. What are you excited about? Nothing exciting going on. Actually, there is. There is. Huge excitement happening. A very exciting thing happening later. Later on, very soon. RB, I hope you're doing well. Mr. Luke, I hope you're doing well as well, RB. Much appreciated. Very much so. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just updating the thumbnail. Happy Friday. Hope you're all having a good Friday. I hope you're all having an above average Friday. Not average. I want you to have an above average Friday. If this is what it normally is for you on Friday, I hope that your Friday is here. More than that. I don't want it to be too good, because that's a little unstable. It's not good. Because then if you have an amazing Friday, the next day is going to be a little disappointing, right? So maybe that's not so good. So I'm hoping that you have an above average Friday, and then your Saturday is a little better, and Sunday comes down a little bit, and then Monday sort of back here. This is what I'm hoping. This is my wish. I'm sorry. Looks like we got some good questions coming up already. That's good. I'm just updating stuff, and then I'll get to the questions. Okay, share in the WhatsApp group, of course. So we've got Corentin, we've got Vissel, we've got Flay. I'm not sure what flay with English means, but that sounds really cool. That's all I know for sure. That sounds awesome. No idea what it means. We've got Luba, RB, Nieva, Rocky, all here. Swell. So as you guys join, again, don't forget, would appreciate if you could smash the like button at the beginning and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. And there's a link in the description, and the link, let me explain that. So I have currently 11 courses right now, 11 courses available. Now my most popular course is called Master Native English. And there's grammar in there. There's usage, situational, conversational stuff. It's really a very in-depth course. It's 15 hours long, okay? The normal price for that course in dollars is $179, okay? For a very short time, with a very limited number, that course is now on sale for $9. I've never lowered it that far before. So that course, and that course only, not the other ones, that course only is on sale for $9. Or maybe it's $9. Well, it depends on where you are. It might be like $9.95 or something like that. It's well, let's just say around $10, something like that. I think it depends on the currency you have, but that's an insane price. And if you've been thinking about grabbing the courses, this would be the time to do it. As I said, it's limited, and you can check that out in the description. Big sale, big sale, big sale, big sale. Okay. I have a speaking course. Yeah, I mean, not you speaking. I'm speaking for 15 hours. Yeah, I have many courses. That is literally my business. That is how I survive. Luba says, this course is the best course. If Luba says it, that means something, because Luba is the English learner of the century. She's a very dedicated learner. So I really appreciate that, Luba. That means a lot. So if you guys are interested in checking out the courses, if you haven't already done that, I will not make the price lower than this ever, 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 ever. Okay. Oh, Macarena also says recommended. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, guys, for those who have taken the courses. Very much so. Mary's here. Good to see you. Corentin says, I bought 7 of your courses on Udemy. I'm at the beginning of the section 11 of Mastery. Hey, on the course. All right. All right. Yeah, they're also on Udemy. They're usually maybe a little more on Udemy. Udemy kind of goes up and down. They do sales occasionally. It's a confusing sort of schedule how they do theirs. I'm not sure. But I don't really do sales that often on mine. What have I got? What's that? I've got a white thing here. What is that? I don't think it's dandruff. I don't really get a lot of dandruff. It's just a white piece of dust or something. Interesting. I used to have kind of some dryness on my scalp. And sometimes I would get a little dandruff. But then I started, now I'm about to do a shampoo advertisement. Check out in the links in the description my favorite shampoo. No, I started using a shampoo on Amazon. I got it on Amazon. It's a natural shampoo, but it has tea tree oil in it. And ever since I started using that, my hair feels much softer, but not too soft, because I don't like using conditioner. It just feels better overall. Ever since I started using that tea tree oil shampoo, amazing. I recommend it. Tea tree oil shampoo is awesome. No chemicals. It doesn't smell bad. No, it does smell bad. It smells like tea tree oil, which has a unique smell. Not bad, just an odd smell, but I like it a lot. Luke, did you cover some IELTS and TOEFL content in your courses? I do not have an IELTS course, and the main reason for that is that I don't want to step on the toes of my friend Francis. So you may have seen me talk to Francis before. He has a really good IELTS course. He was an IELTS examiner. He's a pro, and so I don't want to step on his toes. I might do a TOEFL course someday, but right now I'm working through some other courses and should have, by the end of the year, 21 courses out. That's the plan. Mead, hello from Facebook. Facebook. I'm now able to search comments. So I can search Luba. That's awesome. I can search through my comments now. This is so great. Hey, Luke, sir, how would you describe most memorable vacation? Yeah, sure. I mean, that's a good question. How do you set up that sort of thing? Perfectly reasonable question. Perfectly reasonable question. Okay. You know what? Let me do something quickly before I answer that, though, because yeah. Mary McCain says, do you cover some IELTS? Oh, I already talked about that. Okay. So, Rocky Pearl's question. Rocky Pearl says, Mr. Luke, I prefer to be called Dr. Luke, but whatever. Mr. Luke, how would you describe most memorable vacation? What would be the structure of your answer? And this is a good question because it highlights the importance of mental outlining. You need to get good at this if you're going to explain things clearly. You need to get good at this if you're going to make a point that's quite long. Maybe it has some sub-points inside of it. If you're going to tell a good story, being able to mentally outline things can be very, very powerful. It is very powerful. So what you do to start with is practice outlining on paper. You give yourself a question, and that's a perfectly good question. The most memorable vacation. Fine. Okay, so then you write down on a piece of paper, what is the most memorable vacation? Or in your life, what is the most memorable vacation? Whatever. Then you make an outline and you break it into sections. And it could be as simple as where, when, who, why. Some people just outline that way, and that's fine. Where, when, who, why. That allows you to then make sure the important details are at the beginning so that people have the context. Then they can hear what happened, who you went with, and why you enjoyed it. You might want to actually add what into the outline. So you could do where, when, who, what, why. So if you did where, when, who, what, why as your outline, for most opinion questions, it's going to work, especially for questions that have personal experience in them, where you're going to share a story. So if you did a where, when, who, what, why for that, that would be something like this. I went to Thailand, where back in 2017, when, in spring of 2017, with my wife, who, in a small town called Hua Hin, which is on the seaside, on the beach. It's a beautiful resort area. And then I talk about the what a little bit more. I give some details. We spent a week there just relaxing. It was after a lot of difficult stuff that we were working on, and it was very stressful, so we wanted to just relax. We went to this place. We wanted to get away from the big city, from Bangkok. We had already been to Chiang Mai, so we decided to go to this resort area called Hua Hin, and so we booked the resort, and I'm not usually a resort type of guy, but it was the perfect thing at the perfect time. The price was really good, and because it was right by the beach, we could easily walk there, and our hotel room was not a hotel room. It was a kind of villa with a private swimming pool, and it was great to be able to just be away from everything and just relax. It was a great place to do that because it wasn't very touristy. There weren't a lot of people walking around asking us to buy things like you get in a lot of tourist destinations. So that's kind of a what plus a why, right? To get away from things. I'm not really trying to give the best answer. In fact, that's not actually the best vacation. I don't even think I went to Thailand in 2017. So it's a lie. But the point is, I have an outline in my head that allows me to move from one thing to the next in a logical way. And that's what you should do. You start with paper outlines, writing it down or on your computer or on your phone, and then you slowly work up to just planning it out in your head. Now, it doesn't have to be the where, when, who, what, why. That's one way to do it, but you could say a simple word or a couple of words that represent what you want to say. It could be a question. You could ask yourself a question. If you're explaining a topic, right, you're talking about your expertise. What is, then the thing you're going to explain. How does it work? And then you're going to talk about how it works, okay? Why is it better than, and then something else that you can compare it to. Those questions then can allow you to move from thought to thought in order. Do that in your head, and you'll find after a little bit of practice, it's relatively easy to continue talking about a topic without feeling lost or like you've run out of things to say. That's not the only way to do it. There's the where, what, who, when, why. There's the ask yourself questions, and then there's just the simple this, and this in order. Writing down a word or a small phrase that reminds you about what you want to talk about next. Very, very long, but if you can do it mentally, that's even more powerful, because then you always feel like I never run out of things to say, and I'm always at least somewhat coherent, and it doesn't seem like I'm getting lost or I'm going off track. So start with a piece of paper, ask yourself a simple question, make your outline on paper, practice it a few times, then start working on it in your head. Good question, Rocky. If you guys haven't already done so, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and also check out the full courses in the links in the description. And remember, there's a big sale going on. A big sale! Nectar says, I got basic courses, but my phone couldn't load, but I think I can watch now with new phone. New phone. I love this course, says Zephy. You've done a great job. I'm excited for the next one. Thank you. Oh, love to hear it. Love to hear it. This is, kind of an interesting question. Vitali, what is the difference between it, this, and that? Seems like sort of a simple question. It is a simple question, but it's interesting to explore. What is the difference between it, this, and that? Why would I say it or this or that? When would I use this instead of it? When would I use this instead of that? When would I use it instead of any of the others? Right? Good question. If I don't want to refer to this thing with any reference to its position in relation to me, so I simply want to replace the name of the thing with a word. That's all I want to do, right? I want to replace it with a pronoun. I will use it. And that could be not for only physical things and objects, but for any kind of thing, like a dream. I had a dream last night. It was very scary. I was chased around by a giant spaghetti monster with spaghetti arms, and it was terrifying. So it is the dream, or it might be the spaghetti monster, or it might be my ear, or it might be a thought that I had, or it might be the conversation we had yesterday. It is all it. But notice when I say it, all I'm doing is replacing the name of the noun. I'm replacing dream, spaghetti monster, conversation, ear. That's all it does. That's its function. That's its purpose. So that's why we would use it. But to be clear, we're not creating any sort of connection between position, our position, our closeness to that thing, it, and ourselves. But if we want to create a connection like that, then we would use maybe this or that. Especially if it is near me, right? Where I can point at it with my finger. So the simple one is with objects, right? So if I point to a thing that's very near me, and I want you to know what I'm talking about, I could say it, right? But that's not as useful as saying this is cold. I could say it's cold. I'm talking about it, but I want to I want to suggest that I have it with me, that it's nearby. So I say, this is cold. So while they may mean the same thing, saying it's cold and this is cold, there's a closeness that is created when I use this is cold rather than it is cold, okay? So it is sometimes replaced with this then. But it doesn't have to be a physical thing. It doesn't have to be physically near me. Because let's say, for example, I say this video. Is that a physical thing? Well, no, not really. I'm kind of talking right now. This explanation. So in that way, the closeness is the fact that we're in it now. This explanation, this question, this video, not physical like this coffee, but in the same way close to us or something that we are currently in. This is a very interesting conversation. This is a very good meal. Oh, this is a terrible cold. This is a terrible cold. The cold that I have now, I'm inside of it. This one. Now, I could say it's a bad cold, but this is probably better because I'm inside of it, or it's close to me. So whether it's a physical thing or not, we can use this to create that proximity. That then. That is over there. Now, what's the line between this and that? Well, that's a great question. I recently had, at my book club, we were reading Wittgenstein, and he talks about the word this and the importance of the word this to point to things. But then there's this exploration of what's the line between this and that? And it's not clear. Because that is something that I'm still pointing at. That window, that door. But when does it become this door? Well, if I'm standing right beside it, then I might not say that door, I'll say this door. But if it's a little farther away, I might say that door. Or if there are two doors, and I want to make sure you know the difference between the one beside me and the one farther away, I might say that door, this door. So this is where it gets a little fuzzy, because usually you know what I mean when I say that one. But sometimes you don't, because they kind of go in the middle, and there's a middle area in between them, and you have to just sort of accept that fuzziness in the language. Now, where does that not work? Well, that wouldn't work if you have way over there 3 apples. They're quite far away. And I say, give me that apple. So there are 3 apples, and I want one of them. But my finger is not able to clearly point at one of the 3 because they're close together and they're far away. So if I say, give me that apple, you'll say, which one? Because there are 3. And you can't tell because my finger can't quite point at the different ones, and you can't see the line coming out from my finger like a laser which one I'm pointing at. If I had a laser at the end of my finger, then I could say, give me that apple. And the laser would go on the apple, and you would say, oh, okay. So then what would you do? Well, I would say, give me that apple, which would be a mistake. I should say, give me one of those apples. So that would be a mistake, right? And you would say, which one? And I would say, the one on the right, the one in the middle, the one on the left. Or you would walk over to the apples and you would say, this one? And point at it. That's where this would be useful because you're right next to it. There it is. This one? No. This one? No. This one? Yes. That would be the one on the left. So if you want to be really clear, just be careful when you use that you're pointing at something and I know you know that I know that you know that I know that you know what I mean. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. And that it can't be mixed up with something else. And if it can be mixed up with something else, then instead you'll say, give me the apple over there on the left. Give me that apple on the left. Can I have the apple on the left? Or something like that. I hope that, Vitaly, that answers your question. It's a simple one, but it's also a good one. If you guys haven't already done so, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also check out my full courses in the links in the description. Okay. Do you even been to Hong Kong? Well, I saw your face on an advertisement in Hong Kong. My face is on an advertisement in Hong Kong? Please send me a picture of that, because if that's true, that is awesome. That would be so cool. I want that to be true. Yeah, I have been to Hong Kong a couple times. 3 times? I go to Hong Kong once a week. Come on. An actor says, I chose course of English slang. Yeah, I do have some slang courses. Those are good ones. I just watched your video about the Versant. Would you please tell us any other free websites to check our English level? Well, Versant is not free. It's just not expensive, right? It's like $43 to take it, which is cheap, actually, for a good English evaluation, a good English exam. That's not expensive. Free ones? Let me know what you think. I mean, if you can find one that's good at evaluating English automatically across the board in every area for free, I'm all ears. Tell me about it. Hello, Amar. Greetings, 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 greetings. All right. I want to share my topic for today. Is that okay? Then I'll answer some more questions. Should you learn English with flashcards? Maybe. Maybe yes. Maybe no. You have to be careful, and you have to do it the right way. And we're going to look at some flashcards. We're going to look at a website or an app. Could be a website, could be an app, depending on how you want to use it, for flashcards. One thing, though, that's very important to keep in mind when it comes to flashcards. Whatever you learn should focus on usage. If you just learn 50 words and you know what they mean, but you don't know how to use them, you have no idea how to use them, are you really learning them? I would say no, probably not. Right? So make sure you're focusing on how to use words that you learn, how to use idioms that you learn. Usage is what language is all about. So don't say that you know it if you just memorized it and you can't explain to me what it means, or you can't put it in a sentence. With that said, I want to share with you something that I found to be useful just for remembering things, and we can explore how we might use this to learn idioms, and you can use it for other things too. It is free. It is not just for learning English. It's called Quizlet. Quizlet. It's an app. You can download it on your iPad. You can download it on your phone. You can use it on a website. And we are going to look at the website. And here it is. This is the Quizlet website. Okay? And we're going to explore it a little bit. We're gonna look at how we can review and learn using flashcards. So don't come away from this thinking flashcards are the answer for me to master English. They are one of the tools in your tool belt, okay? They're not the answer. They might help you memorize especially a large number of things, but always remember, focus on usage. It's about usage, okay? I'll say it again probably before we're done. But let's just check this out. So it's a pretty simple website. You have to make an account, but it is free. There are some benefits to upgrading, but we're not going to look at that, okay? So they have some featured things here, recommended sets. And the cool thing is you don't have to make all the flashcards yourself. People have made sets, and you can find them and use them and learn them. Pretty cool. Okay, so and you can make practice tests. It's pretty cool. So we're going to search here. We're just going to search idioms. Idioms. Let's see what comes up. Let's search idioms. All right. And we have, now notice you've got all and you've got premium and then you've got, sorry, we don't have any content that matches your search. Okay, so there are no premium flashcards. Okay, great. So how about the free ones? That's what I want anyway. All right, there are a bunch of free ones. So we have some free packs or sets of flashcards that other people have made. Now, that doesn't mean you cannot make your own. You can make your own flashcards, and that's a good exercise to make your own examples. If you have a word or an idiom or whatever, you write down your own example sentences. That might help you to actually remember it. So that's good, building your own. But you can see that some people have already made them, and we're going to review these. Got American idioms. By the way, I have a course about idioms, 4 courses about idioms, if you want to learn that way too. Okay, so let's just open this one. We've got 100 terms here. Let's open it up, and we get water under the bridge. Okay, now let's just see what the format is here. Before we learn anything, we've got 100 here. We can scroll through these. This is going to give me keyboard shortcuts that I can use to scroll through them. So if I use the arrow keys, I can go through them. If I use the space bar, I can flip. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Oh, what? Hey, huh? Oh? Okay. Oh, okay, so this one is in what, Russian? Is that Russian? Help! So we can write our own. We can learn the spelling. We can test them. We can study with flashcards. I think that means that it creates sort of a session where you can study. I'm going to go back though, and choose ones that have English explanations. Let's go with. Let's see if this one works here. Let's see if this one works. Ants in one's pants. Let's flip the card. Unable to sit still or remain calm out of nervousness or excitement. Ants in one's pants, or ants in your pants. That's a good one. Okay, so this one has the English explanation and then the idiom itself. And you can click on it to flip it back and forth. Or you can hit the space bar and flip it back and forth. And you can go to the next one. Catnap. And then what I would do here, if I were learning this way, I would try to explain this idiom. If I want to use it, I'm going to explain it in a sentence. So this is how you use flashcards. Instead of just saying, oh yes, I know that. Don't do that. Make a sentence. Catnap. A catnap is a small nap that someone might take quickly between doing other things. Okay, let's see what the explanation is. Oh, a short sleep. Okay, there we go. The cat's got your tongue. Cat's got your tongue means that you are unable to speak or you're not willing to speak, maybe because someone has put you into an awkward situation. You aren't speaking. Okay, yeah, there's simpler explanations here. I would add my own. To chicken out means to do something cowardly, to not be able to do something, or to give up on something, or to not have the confidence to do it. Okay, to decide not to do something out of fear. Okay, yeah, not have the confidence to be too afraid. Okay, what if we click on flashcards here? What? Unable. Oh, okay, so this takes us into a special session, and we can learn them this way. That works. That's cool. That's cool. I'm not sure what right is, so maybe we can make our own. Used clothing. Type the answer. Huh? What is this? Used clothing. Type the answer. Used clothing. Vintage? Huh? I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Oh, hand-me-down. Oh, okay. Oh, so this would be answering the questions, and you have to answer in the correct way. Hand-me-down clothes. Well, there are many ways to say used clothing, but that's cool. Different ways to practice. Spell. What is this one? Spell. What do I do? What do I do? Oh, click to start the audio. Okay, let me oops. Let me put on my headphones. Okay.
Not my cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea. Answer? What do I type? Not my cup of tea. I don't like it. Incorrect.
Not. N-O-T. My cup of tea.
Oh.
Not my cup of tea.
Oh, right. Oh, I see. You write the action. Not my cup of tea. Hey!
A slip of the tongue.
A slip of the tongue. This is cool.
Peanuts.
What? Peanuts.
Break a leg.
Break a leg.
Roll out the red carpet.
Roll out the red carpet. Ah!
Neck
this
of
is
the
fun.
woods.
Neck of the woods. This is cool.
Tough cookie.
Tough cookie. Okay. Ah, cool. Then they give you checkpoints. This is cool. I haven't used this feature before, but I've got to say, I like it. I really do. I like it. 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 And you can play games. You can do tests. And yeah, the cool thing is that other people are creating them, and they give you so many different ways to practice. Just remember, if you use something like Quizlet, if you want to use something like Quizlet, great, it's a tool. It's one of the things in your tool belt. It's one of the things that can help you learn. Fantastic. Use everything that you can. Immersion, do it all. Memorize everything you can, but always make sure it comes back to one thing. You learn a language so that you can communicate. That's why you learn a language, usually. So make sure you're using it. When you learn a word, practice it. Explain it. Say it, right? My cup of tea means that, right? Not my cup of tea. When someone says, not my cup of tea, it means that they don't really like something very much. Okay, that's an explanation using the idiom, my cup of tea or not my cup of tea. So if you're using it, you can remember it more easily. If you just say to yourself when you see the flashcard, yep, I know it, okay, next, yep, I know it, next, not focusing on usage. So check this out. Let me know how it goes. If you like it or you don't like it, I'd be very curious to hear your thoughts, your feedback on Quizlet, or if you find any other interesting flashcard apps out there that you want to recommend, let me know. If you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe so that you can see future videos, live streams as well. Don't forget to hit the like button. I would really appreciate that. It helps out the channel. And you can check out my full courses in the links in the description. All right. Everyone's downloading the app. All right. Yeah, they're not paying me for this, guys. I use it for I've used it for some alchemical terms. Is that Russian? Yeah, I don't know what the difference between Russian and Greek. Let me see that now that we're done with that topic. Let's take a look. Let's go back to that, shall we? That first one, that first set. Is this Greek? What is this language? Can someone tell me? What is this? Oh, it is Russian. Okay. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not so good at identifying languages based on the alphabets of those languages. Although I do know what Sanskrit looks like. Cool. And I do know the difference between like Chinese and I can, if you show me Korean, Chinese, and Japanese, I can tell the difference between them. Let's search here. What was I doing before? Alchemy. Let's just search alchemy. I'm interested in alchemy. Alchemy vocabulary. Transmutation. The conversion of base elements into precious metals. Transmutation. Magic. The ability to apparently influence the course of certain events through the use of mysterious or supernatural forces. A witch. Warlock. Panacea. Named after the Greek goddess of universal remedy, Panacea, used to describe... Wait, what happened? Used to describe a remedy that is claimed to cure all diseases, sought after by alchemists. Sorcerer, person who claims or is believed to have magical powers. Sorcerers have innate gift of magic, unlike wizards associated more with conjuring and alchemy. You trying to turn stuff into gold? Yeah, why not? I would love to turn stuff into gold. That's my dream. Not good at communicating with others, even in my native language, RB says. How to improve that? Well, I mean, that's a good question. That's a good question. Because of English, I have got friends who can talk at dawn when I can't sleep. That means you talk to people when you can't sleep? Is that what that means? RB, I'm not good at communicating with others, even in my native language. And this is a common thing. There are native English speakers who are just not good at communicating. But it's also not very productive to then give a universal solution to this. Because there are so many different reasons why it might be that you struggle to communicate. So let's examine a couple of them, just so that you have some food for thought, right? Then we'll maybe talk about how this relates to the English language. So I know some people who are not good at communicating because they're too self-conscious. That means they self-examine every tiny thing they say and make judgments about themselves. If I say this, this person will think that. If I say this, this person will think that about me. And if this is the case, it's like an overdoing, overthinking, over everything that creates a prison around you. You're so crushed by your own judgments of yourself through the eyes of others that you can't move or speak. And to this I would say, well, good luck. I feel sorry for you. That's unfortunate. I think it might help to know that it doesn't have to be that way. And if there are others who don't feel that way, that means everyone can decide to not feel that way. So if you're the type of person who's constantly judging yourself, start to move toward not doing that by putting yourself in those situations where you think others might judge you, and then observe how others actually react to you. And what you'll probably notice is they don't really care that much. People are not judging you nearly as much as you think they are. If you make mistakes, most people don't care at all, whether it's in your native language or not. And so you can start to relax once you really start to observe how people respond to you. But keep pushing yourself. Keep pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. And try to sort of get used to the fact that nobody really cares. And the person who judges you most is yourself. In other words, you're creating a prison for yourself. If that's the issue. That's not always the issue. Some people are not shy or too self-aware, too self-critical. Some people are just not clear in their minds. right? Some people can't express themselves because they can't quite get their ideas to fit together in a natural, clear way. It's not about shyness. It's just when I try to explain myself, sometimes I wander off and start talking about something else. Sometimes I make the wrong example. Sometimes I say things in a way that only I understand and other people don't understand, right? This is okay because it's something that I think can be improved with practice. You have to practice explaining things to people in one way or another. This is where I would recommend starting a YouTube channel or something like that, because you're forced then to condense your ideas into a limited space of time, and then you get feedback from the people who watch what you make directly that can then tap you in one direction or the other. So if you make a 5-minute video about whatever the main theme of your channel is, cosmetics, say, and then you don't get a very good response and people seem confused and it doesn't have a very good, you don't get very good feedback from people, then you can try to figure out why that is. Is it because I get way off topic? If that's the case, then I'm going to try to stick closer to a script or stick closer to an outline, give myself an outline until I get good at doing mental outlines. Maybe that's the issue. Or maybe when I'm explaining things, I make too many references that only I know. Sometimes people tell stories and they say, and then Janice said, and then I was like, and then Janice said that, and people are like, who's Janice? What? There's no context. So then you learn when you're talking to an audience to set things up a little better before you go into them in detail. So I have a friend named Janice, and Janice, she drives a Zamboni at a hockey rink. That's her job, and we've been friends since 5th grade. I have a Zamboni driver friend named Janice. We're good friends, but we're totally different because Janice, blah, 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 and I, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now we have a foundation, a common foundation, and we can start to build the story from there. And sometimes when we don't think in that way, we just go off on this track of making references about things, talking about people and events, and then people feel lost because they don't have a foundation. So then you get that feedback because you made a video about it. People say, what are you talking about? And you realize you need to set up a foundation. You need to build some context. So maybe that's the issue. There's so many of these things that you would learn over time getting direct feedback. And it's something I would recommend to everybody. I think everybody should have a channel. I think everybody should share their views and talk and explain things. And you don't have to, of course. I can't make you, but it would make you a better communicator. I guarantee that. So these are just a couple things. Being too self-conscious, not really being able to organize your thoughts. And each one sort of requires a different approach, right? And there are others. But I think the common denominator in all of them is awareness, paying attention to what it is that might be the core, the real reason why you feel like you can't communicate well. What is the real reason? Do I feel self-conscious? Am I kind of unorganized and people don't understand me? Then once you've identified that, look at a number of possible things that you might do next. Don't say, okay, so in 5 years I'm going to be here. You can do that, but better would be to say, okay, in order to, I've identified what I think is the main cause, one of 5, 10 things, right? This is the main cause for me. Then, and maybe you ask friends for feedback, right? Ask people to tell, why do you think I'm not good at communicating? Tell me what you think. Ask friends for feedback. So you've identified it. Then you say, okay, I'm going to try these 3 things that I think will help get me closer to becoming a better communicator. Okay, so try those 3 things. Maybe one of those 3 things works very well, is very successful. And then you're making progress. So it's just a constant process of being honest with yourself, being very self-aware, asking for feedback, and then constantly trying to do new things so that you can move toward being better. And that's how everything works. Anytime you want to get better at anything, you just do that. It starts with self-awareness and is continuous, ongoing work. And I would say also never just assume I am this way. I am not a good communicator. I am not good at this. Why? Why not? Why can't you be better? So I don't accept that sort of way of thinking. You can always be better, in my opinion. Okay, guys, if you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button, also very important, and check out my full courses in the links in the description. Okay. Luke, I bought the course, but I'm facing a problem to pay for the membership. I already tried several times. Maybe try buying the course specifically. Maybe the membership is temporary access, so I would go with the course, just the course itself. I can't be asked to talk to people. I just want to be left alone. All right, if that works for you, no judgment from me. I'm at upper intermediate English level with good, clear accent. If someone at my level or above wants to practice English through video chats, please let me know. Okay, the Rocky wants to do video chats. Well, we've got people in the WhatsApp group who want to do chats too, so join the WhatsApp group. Actually, I talk without thinking about time with a group of friends. Okay, that's good. It's good that you have people to chat with, though, in English, Nectar. That's a positive thing, for sure. Zamboni is one of my favorite words. Yes. Do you have a Zamboni driver friend named Janice? Is my question. I was raised to not ask more than "How are you?" Oh, really? Also, there's a fear of inconvenience, like asking inappropriate questions. Oh, don't tell me that. I'm Mr. Inappropriate Questions. Sometimes I go a little too far, like I ask questions and people feel a little uncomfortable. Read about Jabir Hayyan. He's a very important alchemist and considered one of the fathers of alchemy. Cool, I'll have to check that out. I know about Al-Biruni. I mean, he was kind of a scientist, more of a scientist, but I think he was interested in some similar things, right? Yeah, a lot of the guys who were interested in mathematics and empirical research, the earliest ones to do that, many of them were Muslim, like Al-Biruni. That's why we say words like algebra and alchemy. That comes from that era. Interesting. Take something for granted. I already talked about take for granted quite recently in a live stream, so I'm going to skip that one if that's okay. Will have been being responsible for this job many months by the time I die. Interesting. Please tell me how to answer the question. Ciao. Hello. Here's a question, Luke. What does the word coffee mean originally? I don't know. I mean, where does the word coffee come from? Hey, Google, what is the etymology of the word coffee?
According to Wikipedia, the word coffee entered the English language in 1582 via the Dutch koffie, borrowed from the Ottoman Turkish kahve, in turn borrowed from the Arabic kahwa. To find out more,
Kahwa.
look for the link in your Google Home or Google Assistant app.
Thank you. So,
You're welcome.
so apparently it comes from Arabic. Kalawa, I think is what she said. Kalawa. From Arabic to Turkish to Dutch. So she said Dutch to English. Interesting. Yeah, the etymology of words I find quite interesting because it tells you about the history. If you hear certain words, you wonder why is that the word? Because there's wars and the kings and you know crazy people and funny people and people punching each other and people coming over from other countries and bringing knowledge and forcing knowledge and stealing knowledge, and all of this is this foaming mess of language, and I think that's fascinating personally. But if you ever want to know more about it, you just search the word. For example, coffee, and then you search the word etymology, or etymology of coffee, etymology. Kawa. Okay. Kawa. Very cool. It means, Amar says it means wine or mead, whatever alcoholic beverage the Arabs used to drink before Islam. Probably mead, right? Well, I mean, mead was very popular back in medieval times. No, actually not a big Siri fan, Rocky. I'm not a huge Siri fan. Hello, Leo. Hello. Greetings. I trained my little English skills in a different Discord server with native English people. Discord servers can you recommend, Corinton, any Discord servers that are general for people to learn or practice English? That sounds cool. That sounds cool. Uncle Ben Hamar. Hello, Uncle Ben. Greetings. Do you guys want to look at the citizenship questions in Quizlet? We could fly through those. Those are interesting. Recently, my wife had to take an exam. It's kind of an exam where when you want to become a United States citizen, you need to answer some questions. So what are the questions about? Well, they're about American history and about American government, right? So if you want to pass and get your citizenship, you've got to pass this exam. There are 100 and some questions. They change over time. But if you study them and practice them and pass, then they ask you to provide some documents. And if all of that goes well, you can become a citizen. You have to stand up and say, I don't know what you have to say. You have to do a pledge. So recently, my wife was preparing for this interview with these questions about the government and U.S. history. And I pulled up a list from Quizlet for her, and maybe it would be interesting to very quickly go through them and see how fast we can learn about American history and American politics from the lens or through the lens of the citizenship exam. So shall we do that? I'm going to hop over here to Quizlet, and then we'll take a look. Okay, here we go. 1 sec. How do I... What a... Head of... Nectar says, your calm voice makes me sleepy. Oh, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or that could be that's a bad thing. I don't think I want to have a calm voice. I think on YouTube you're supposed to be more exciting. Hey, everybody! Welcome to the thing! I can't do it. I can't even do it for 5 seconds. All right. So let's take a look at the citizenship questions. If you guys want to answer in your heads, see how much you know. All right. Citizenship 2021 questions about American history and the U.S. government as required by the citizenship exam or interview. Okay? What protects our rights, sets up our government, and defines our government? I'm going to say the U.S. Constitution. Oh, that the question is what does the I'm answering with the question. Okay, let me start from number 1. What is the Constitution? It's the law of the land. That's what that is. Okay. Supreme law of the land. Very good. Protects our rights, sets up our government, defines our government. That would be, what is the Constitution? Or what does the Constitution do? Very good. Okay. We the people. Those are the first 3 words of the Constitution. The idea of self-governance is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. Good. We the people. A change or addition to the Constitution. What is an amendment? Yes, an amendment. That's a new rule or law. Okay, let's go. Bill of Rights. What are the first 10 amendments of the U.S. Constitution called? What do we call the first 10 amendments of the Constitution? Oh, yeah. Religion, speech, and assembly. What are 3 rights guaranteed by the First Amendment? What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? Oh, yes. So far, I think I'm 100%. 27. The age of me minus 5. 27 is what is the number of amendments in the U.S. Constitution? How many amendments does the Constitution have? Good. Announced, declared independence from England July 4th, 1776. What, when? What or when? What happened on... I'm not sure what the question would be. The Declaration of Independence. Maybe what is the Declaration of Independence? Oh, what did the Declaration of Independence do? Yeah. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What rights were asserted in the Declaration of Independence? What are 2 rights in the Declaration of Independence? Very good. Practice a religion of your choice or not practice a religion. That would be First Amendment, freedom of religion. What is the freedom of religion? Yes. Capitalism is the economic system of the United States. Wow, perfect! I got that one word for word. Everyone must follow the law, even the government no one is above the law. That is called the rule of law. What is the rule of law? Judicial, executive, and legislative. What are the 3 branches of the United States government? Judicial, that would be the judges, Supreme Court. Executive, that would be the president's cabinet. And legislative, that would be making laws, Congress, Senate, and House of Representatives. Checks and balances. What is the system in place to make sure that one branch of government doesn't get too powerful? What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? Okay. President is the head of the executive branch. Yes, in charge of the executive branch. Congress is the legislative branch and made up of 2 houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Oh, but who makes federal laws? Pretty simple question. What are the question would be Senate, House of Representatives. What are the 2 parts of Congress? Name the 2 parts of the U.S. Congress. I am so far 17 for 17. I haven't missed one yet. I'm a true American. 100. My age plus 78. I mean 68. Not 70. That would be nice. This would be the number of senators, I believe. How many senators are there? Yes. Haha. 6 years. That would be the term of a U.S. senator, the length of time. As a U.S. senator is elected for how many years? All right. So far, so good. Ted Cruz and John Cornyn, these would be 2 senators from Texas. But if it's for New York, it would be Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand, I believe, who is one of your state senators. So this person must be in Texas. 435 is the total number of representatives in the House of Representatives, which is the other part of the U.S. Congress. The House of Representatives has how many voting members? Cool. 2, how many senators are there for each state? A representative. I missed my first question because the answer was just 2. So it could have been that because it is 2 senators per state. A U.S. representative from the House of Representatives is elected for how many years? 2 years. I knew that. Trust me, I knew it. Lizzie Fletcher and Al Green, those must be representatives of that person's district, maybe? Name your U.S. representative. Okay. Whoever made these cards, that would be there. So you have to answer your own representative in the question. Different for everybody. All the people in the state. I think this would be, who do senators represent? Who does the U.S. Senate represent? All the people in the state. Very good. Because some states have more people. That would be, why do some states have more representatives than others? Because some states have more people. Got it. 4. The term of the United States president. President is elected for how many years? 4 years. Yes. November, that is when the election for the president happens. In what month do we vote for the president? Yes. Joe Biden, current president. Name of the president of the United States now. Easy. Kamala Harris is the vice president of the United States of America. Yes. If the president can no longer serve, who becomes president? Okay, vice president, of course. Speaker of the House then becomes president if the president and the vice president both get hit by a bus. But if they get hit by 2 different buses, then it's still the same person. Speaker of the House, and her name is Nancy Pelosi. President. Well, what's the question for president? I don't know what the question is. Who is the commander-in-chief of the military? The president. The commander-in-chief is the head of the military. The president is the commander-in-chief. Again, another one. The answer is president. I don't know. Who signs bills to become laws? The president. Okay, very good. Another one with president as the answer. So it's commander-in-chief. It's who signs bills into laws. What would the other one be? What can the president do? They live in the White House. They get to have a dog. They're usually old. I don't know. Who vetoes bills? Okay, so veto is when the Congress passes a bill and then the president says, no, I won't sign it. And then it goes back to the Congress and they have to get more votes than to pass it. Someone says, who has the button? The nuclear button? That's the president as well. Yeah. Advise the president. Vice president advises the president. Advise the president. Secretary of Defense, Vice President, Secretary of State, Secretary of Education, Secretary of Agriculture. Vice President is listed twice here. This would be the President's Cabinet. What are 2 cabinet positions? Yes. reviews laws, resolves disputes, and decides if laws are unconditional. The Supreme Court. Oh, the judicial branch. Well, that would be the Supreme Court then, right? Supreme Court decides whether laws are unconstitutional. The highest court in the land, okay? The highest court in the land. 9. Justices of the Supreme Court. How many justices are on the Supreme Court? 9. Of course. John Roberts, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? We're not gonna do all of them, guys. We'll do 50. John Roberts. Power to print money, make treaties, declare war. Those are 3 powers of the federal government. Who can issue a driver's license, provide schooling and education? That would be state governments. Power of states, yes. Greg Abbott, no idea. Governor, oh, okay. Must be a governor of some state. Austin, probably the capital of Texas. Oh, right, this is Texas. Capital of your state. My state is Albany, New York. Albany. Democrat and Republican, these are the two parties, the 2 biggest parties. 2 major political parties, yes. Democrat would be the party of the current president. What is the party of the current president? Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House. Who is the Speaker? What is the name of the Speaker of the House of Representatives now? At least 18 is how old you have to be in the military, to vote, and to smoke? Oh, to vote, okay. Jury duty is one thing that all citizens have or can do, but if you're not a citizen, you can't. What is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? Okay, last one. What is another right? Oh, what is a right for United States citizens? To vote in a federal election. Got it. Okay. Maybe we'll look at others soon. Interesting. I know some of you think that's super boring, but I think those are interesting. And I like to also quiz myself. Uncle Bean. Luke, is this your original voice? Or, you practice this voice for this channel because your voice is easy to catch for non-English, an English person. So I think the question is not about the tone of my voice, that I talk like this. It's not about that, right? It's that when I say things, you can understand what I'm saying, and maybe you're wondering why you can understand what I'm saying rather than perhaps when you listen to native speakers having a conversation in a movie, why you don't understand them, right? Well, yes, I learned how to speak this way when I became an English teacher. Slowly, it just sort of happened because I became more and more aware of what people know and what they're not likely to know. So maybe that's my superpower of knowing what people probably don't know and then not saying those things. But then the question is, yes, but you're not speaking particularly slowly. My speaking speed is... Sorry, there's an emergency happening. I would say that my speaking speed is not that different from the average native speaker. And yet, someone speaking the same speed at me might be still difficult to understand. Well, what's going on there? That is about all the things that I'm deciding not to say that I'm pretty sure you don't know, which include a number of things. There might be some advanced vocabulary in there, or some very local vocabulary. There might be some idioms and phrases that I could use, which I'm deciding not to use as I speak. And a native speaker will use those and not really be aware that they're saying things, they're including idioms and phrases that non-native speakers don't know. Those include phrasal verbs, they include idioms, they include regular phrases that are quite common, especially ones that are local. That means in their area, right? Maybe their state, maybe their city even, or their country, okay? And they're different for different places. So when I watch British TV, there are a lot of things I don't quite understand because I don't know that particular phrase. What does that mean? But then I have to try to figure it out from the context. Then there are references, and this is where I really struggle when I'm watching British TV shows. I like to watch, for example, QI. That's a good one. There are a lot of things that they say, references to pop culture, famous people from England, so many different things. Other shows, quotes from movies, quotes from TV shows, characters from movies and TV shows, historical things, things that they would learn in school related to their country, their own history. There are so many things that I don't know about growing up in England or in the UK that they know that gives them a sort of special dialect that is outside of my own, that when I hear it, I think, okay, I know that, but I don't know that. I don't know that. So I have to piece it together from context. And you would get that in the United States too. References to all those things, movies, TV shows, cultural things, historical things, all of that, this giant sea of references that exist within this culture for those people who grew up in it, who were surrounded by it from the age of 0, and then slowly grew up watching movies and playing video games and listening to the radio and all of those things. So then even a native English speaker from the UK might listen to a conversation between me and a friend and say, I didn't get that, I didn't get that. There will be things that they might not understand. So this is not only a thing for non-native English speakers. This is about areas of shared knowledge and shared memes and shared references. So there are so many layers to it. The layer of usage of words, of phrases and idioms. Sometimes the accent layer, which is part of it, I suppose. And then there's that references layer. And I think the references layer, the layer of all those shared references, that's the most important one. That's the main reason why people don't understand native English speakers, because they're making so many references that you simply don't know. Right? My wife, her English is very good. She's a non-native English speaker. And in a work conversation, she understands what's happening. She gets it. She understands, because when you're at work, you speak about work stuff and you don't joke around as much. You just communicate clearly to make sure everyone understands, right? But then she'll hear a conversation sometimes in a movie and she'll say, I have no idea what they were talking about. The English itself is just as clear, but all of those very local references are not so obvious and something you need to really surround yourself with. So there, if you want to understand, if you want to really get or grab onto the language culturally, you have to start watching a lot of movies, TV shows, playing video games, going on Reddit, reading memes. Get into it. Surround yourself with it, and you'll start to learn more. Like PewDiePie. I made a video about why PewDiePie is so good at English. Well, one of the reasons is he's just surrounded by the language all the time. He's not a native English speaker, but his English is excellent. It basically sounds native. So why is that? Because he's immersed himself in it since he was a kid, right? So I hope that gives you some insight. That's why you understand me better, because I'm not doing those things. And I think that was your question. So if you have any other questions, let me know. If you haven't already done so, please go beat that dog over there that's making loud noises so that it will be quiet. That dog drives me crazy. Honestly, that dog, I'll be filming something and that dog will, and then I think it's done. Oh, the dog is done. And then I'll start speaking again because I'm recording something. So then, and then the dog, it's like it knows to take a break just to drive me absolutely insane. Living in the city, I'm over it. I'm over it. So over it. I'm over it. Yeah, so don't forget to Sorry for complaining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, check out my full courses in the links in the description. Hey guys, just as a reminder, in the description there is a link that is my most popular course, Master Native English. That course is on sale, 95% off. The lowest price it will ever be. So if you've wanted to take a course of mine, that's the longest one. It's 15.5 hours. It's got a lot of stuff. It covers a lot of things, and it is on sale right now for $9. Normal price is $179. So it's on sale for $9. It has never been cheaper, and I will never offer it for a lower price. So check that out. Hey, Alyssa's here. Yahoo! Yahoo, Yahoo. Peace Seeker says, I recommend Hello Lingers server. So Hello Lingers is a Discord server where you can practice your English, maybe? That's cool. That's cool. Yes, links in the description. Amar says, Scottish accent is so difficult to understand, I can't make out a word of what Sir Alex Ferguson says. Who is Sir Alex Ferguson? Now I need to know. Let me search it. Who is Sir Alex Ferguson? No sound? What? Oh, there is. Okay. Heyo! Let's check this out. You guys have any other recommendations? Let us know. We can listen to some strong accents.
Cup, one European Super Cup.
Is he going to talk?
Alex. I've absolutely no script in my mind. I'm just going to ramble on and hope I get to the core of what this football club has meant to me.
Get to the core of what this football club has meant to me. Okay, so this is a Scottish accent. This guy's name is Alex Ferguson, and he is maybe the owner of the club, whatever club it is. I'm sorry, I don't know about football. Guys, I don't care about sports. I'm so sorry. But this guy has a strong Scottish accent. Okay, what else? Let's see what else he says.
But, first of all, it's a thank you to Manchester United, not just the directors, not just the medical staff, the coaching staff, the players, the supporters. It's all of you.
Thanks to Manchester United, not just the staff, the players' staff, the coaches' staff. Okay, so far I can understand him.
You've been the most fantastic experience of my life. Thank you.
Is he retiring? Oh, it's raining really hard.
I have been very fortunate.
I have been very fortunate.
I've been able to manage some of the greatest players in the country, let alone Manchester United.
I've been able to manage some of the greatest players in the country, let alone Manchester United. Okay, so he does have a strong accent, but if I listen to it piece by piece, I can certainly understand what he is talking about. Fergie, you guys know who he is? Okay. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know anything about sports. I really don't. I know nothing. Excruciatingly painful and painfully excruciating. Are these the same? Yeah, pretty much. I would say they're pretty much the same. Amar says he's the legendary manager of Manchester United. Tried to listen to some of his interviews. He sounds more comprehensible in this speech. Okay. So in the interviews, he's harder to understand. Interesting. Yeah, that was quite clear. It wasn't bad. I could at least understand it fairly well. Okay. You know what, guys? I think it might be time for me to call it a day today. I know, Alyssa, you just joined, but we've been going for a bit. So thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it. We'll be back next week. Bring your questions. If I didn't answer your questions, I will try to answer them in the next one. We're still not quite at a point where we're doing regular streams. Fergie and Fergalicious. Yeah, that guy is Fergalicious, I would say. But we'll get there eventually. So I appreciate your patience, your time, your questions, all of that stuff. Guys, if you haven't already done so, again, don't forget to hit the like button. Much appreciated. Subscribe, of course. And before it goes away, it is limited time and limited number available, right? Quite limited. The course, Master Native English, biggest discount in history, on sale right now for a limited time. And let's see. We've already had some people purchase it. Very cool. We've already got some purchases. So yeah, guys, check that out if you haven't already done so. That's in the link. And again, thanks a lot, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.